After studying this module on international marketing, you would know about the meaning and nature of international marketing. Understand why international marketing is an imperative. Identify the specific stages of evolution of international marketing and the orientation of the international marketer towards global business. Learn about the strategic decisions in international marketing. Now, as an introduction, let us just go over some of the basics of the topic international marketing. International marketing is a subject which is very significant, specialized, and a useful body of knowledge for a learner that comprises of the solutions, the strategies to all such challenges and tasks that are expected to arise in a market beyond the domestic boundaries of a nation. It is interesting to note that despite incorporating the basic tenets of marketing, the study of this branch of marketing introduces many such aspects that have hitherto not been relevant to the domestic marketer. The meaning and nature of international marketing. According to American Marketing Association, international marketing is the multinational process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, and services to create exchanges that satisfy individuals and organizational objectives across borders. To a close observation of the above definition brings into the fore the key characteristics for a better understanding of the subject. The only difference between the definitions given by American Marketing Association of domestic marketing and international marketing is the addition of the word multinational. This apparent minor difference throws open the need for studying a whole gamut of subjects, the needs, the challenges, the tasks, the strategies, and the marketing programs in cross-border markets. Yet, international marketing very much retains the basic marketing concepts of transaction and exchange, the 4 P's, satisfaction, marketing orientation, application of the marketing concept, not only about tangible products but also about place, people, idea, services, etc. It is not proper to regard international function of the marketer as simply to export or distribute across borders, to focus over the physical distribution function of the marketing program. Place or distribution is just a part of the marketing mix. Distance between the markets neither makes it more or less important than other components of marketing mix. The marketing concepts, principles, and the processes are universally applicable across the globe, yet the environment within which they are applied varies from country to country and region to region. The international marketer is subject to new and multiple sets of environmental factors. Therefore, international marketing process is not merely a repetition of using the identical strategies abroad. The 4 P's of marketing must be integrated and coordinated across nations and regional markets. International marketing is a specialized branch of marketing that is in particular useful to those marketers who understand the convergence and divergence of the need across the globe due to various factors including the internet, the IT revolution, and so on. Therefore, The marketers operating in international trade treat the whole world as their marketplace. Besides, marketers located at some part of the world endowed with specific resources and skills also tend to gain by the principle of comparative advantage by indulging themselves in meeting the needs of unsaturated markets at the global level. The principles of international marketing guide in meeting the challenges of the international marketers and be strategically correct in the beating the competition and threats from the local markets. Now, let us move on to why international marketing is an imperative. Global linkages. The world trade has risen and given rise to global linkages of markets, technologies, human resources as well as the living standards. Union in European nations, NAFTA in North America, ASEAN in Asia are a few examples of global linkages. These linkages bind the country, the institutions as well as the individuals together and create bilateral dependencies. Such situations have led the marketer to have global orientation and take up the business activities with new horizons. Production in one country and assembly and distribution in different countries to achieve effectiveness and efficiency in business and marketing operations has been conceived only during the era of global linkages. Domestic and international policy repercussions. Domestic market economies no more remain isolated from the international market events. The domestic market policies such as interest rate, economic regulation over pricing, imports and exports, agricultural and farm policies, industrial regulations, etc., all are constantly reviewed and adapted in the light of its international implications. This has made the country's policy framework more volatile and less controllable. On account that, to counteract that, there is a need to be more active in international markets. Saturation of domestic markets. The marketer operating in the local economy may like to venture out at the saturation of the local market demand. The imbalances of the economic and population growth, the geographic distances of the regions, and the rate of technological advances and innovations create a demand and supply imbalance. This gap is intelligently sensed and filled by the international marketer. Global competition. Competition is defined in marketing at different levels. Over the years, a major shift in the view of competition has occurred around the globe. With the internet revolution and distances becoming shorter, the competition has no more remained in a domestic domain. Globalization and liberalization of economies, fall of communism, increasing dominance of market economies at the international realm, all have led to the view of the competition by marketeer in its broadest sense, that is at the global level. Need for global cooperation. The global competition and the global cooperation are the two sides of the same coin. The multinational mergers, tie-ups, joint ventures and alliances are all the forms of cooperation at the global level in order to gain strategic advantage of size or skill or efficiencies in order to beat the competition at the global level. International marketing is an intrinsic part of this scenario. Information technology and internet revolution. There have been profound changes in the way marketing programs were made and implemented earlier, all because of the proliferation of internet and the advent of e-commerce and e-marketing, which is growing at an unprecedented rate. As compared to B2C e-commerce, B2B e-commerce is becoming larger in size and growth rate. The two-way dialogue between the producer and the consumer is easier, leading to opening up of the scope for customized goods. The increasing trade relations, information sharing and exchanges between nations have also streamlined pricing and payment between nations. All these have been the result of the revolution in the IT and internet sphere that has paved the way for international marketing. The point is that the evolution of international marketing is well related to the domestic marketing. So, domestic marketing is the formulation and implementation of marketing practices within a marketer's home country. The marketing strategy is based on information about domestic consumers' needs and preferences, industry trends and domestic political, legal, technological and economic environments, that is, the external environment of the home country. The domestic marketer faces competition both from domestic as well as international competitors. Marketers in this case tend to be ethnocentric, as this target market is the domestic market and he need not be sensitive about the foreign market needs. The next point is about export marketing. It is the first stage of internationalization of the business wherein the marketer starts getting unsolicited orders from foreign countries. The international business evolves from indirect exporting in the form of movement of goods to foreign lands through traders or agents, to ad hoc exporting of surplus goods, to explicit and regular direct exporting in the form of marketer taking up specific export related tasks. The orientation of the marketer is ethnocentric, as he is more focused over the satisfaction of the domestic market needs and is not bringing in any change in the marketing program for goods meant for overseas markets, as these goods form a minor percentage of the total output in terms of value or volume. International marketing. Once export marketing becomes an internal part of the organization's marketing activity, it seeks new dimensions of growth and expansion. This stage is called international marketing. A polycentric orientation is the orientation of the marketer at this stage, that is, organization's predisposition to the existence of significant local and cultural differences across markets, thus viewing each country as an independent market. Extreme international marketing may take the form of establishing foreign subsidiaries in each foreign market and have each subsidiary operate independently without any control from the headquarters. This is also called multi-domestic marketing. Multinational marketing. This is the stage of evolution where the multiplication of efforts leads to the realization of the benefits of economies of scale in product development, manufacturing and marketing due to consolidation of regions, and the organization tries to consolidate some of its activities on a regional basis. The approach of the marketer becomes region-centric or regiocentric. The culmination of cultures or politics or economics can be the reasonable ground for integration of the marketing program on a regional basis. Global marketing. Global marketing with an emphasis over standardization of efforts is the call for the marketer in this scenario. Global marketing does not necessarily mean complete worldwide standardization. It views organizations' proactive willingness to adopt global perspective in marketing strategy instead of a regional or a country specific perspective. Market segmentation decisions and patterns are not focused over the national or regional borders. Instead, they are observed and defined by income and economic factors or usage behavior or other psychological factors spanning across countries and regions. For a global company, national boundaries are blurred except for the fact of its incorporation in a particular country. Now let us move on to strategic decisions to be taken in international marketing. Deciding whether to go abroad. Unless and otherwise, the domestic market situations warrant a threat or challenge in the form of saturation or change in tastes and preferences or certain political legal threats or the opportunities from the overseas markets are overwhelming, the domestic marketer would not like to move out of the known and safe environment of domestic business. These factors in the form of opportunities and risks have been discussed as follows. Opportunities and advantages. High profit volume and or profit margins, risk division across markets and lesser dependence on one market, large customer base to make economies of scale viable, divergence and convergence of customer needs, counter attack on global competition. Risks and challenges. The diversity of foreign environment in terms of socio-cultural, economic, legal, political and geographical differences that may make the product unattractive. Trade and non-trade barriers put up by countries. Lack of needed skills, resources and human resource with experience. Underestimated regulations, laws and restrictions. Deciding which markets to enter. How many markets to enter? There are two approaches. To enter countries one-on-one basis called waterfall approach, or entering many countries simultaneously called sprinkler approach. The decision of the company may depend on the risk evasiveness of the management, the available financial and human resources, the linkages, the nature of product and services, and the degree to which the first mover advantage is significant. Which type of market to enter? The two markets, developing and developed, and the demand pattern vary significantly in terms of volume of demand, the per capita spending, the nature of goods demanded, the consumption patterns, and the availability of promotion and distribution infrastructure. Accordingly, the marketing program of the marketer is to be put in place. Evaluation of the potential market. A strategic market analysis in terms of cost benefit, political stability, cultural similarity and dissimilarity, government's commitment, competitive advantage, the state of the financial and IT infrastructure, and the availability of key human resources can be a few of the important considerations in the evaluation of the potential market. The evolution of the potential market. Each of the potential market in the subset of the developing or the developed nation is unique in terms of its marketing environment. The socio-cultural, the political and the legal environment, and geographical environment as well in each market varies significantly across different nations and markets. A strategic market analysis in terms of cost benefit analysis, political stability, cultural similarities and dissimilarities, government's commitment, competitive advantage, the state of the financial and IT infrastructure, and the availability of key human resources can be a few important considerations in this kind of evaluation. Further, a number of consulting organizations, the reports of the banks, of financial institutions, the reports of the trade associations, and the statistical survey of different organizations can be of great help in this regard. Deciding how to enter the market. Indirect exports. Indirect exports take place in the form of selling of goods through independent intermediaries. Usually, indirect export is on an ad hoc basis for surplus output. A very low risk and less investment of organization's time, money and resources are the key advantages. Direct exporting. On the realization of the potential returns through the exports, the company may decide to take up the exports in its own name through setting up of its own export division or department with dedicated staff, or open overseas subsidiary or branch, or to appoint foreign distributors or agents with exclusive rights to represent the companies in overseas markets. Licensing. The licensor issues a license, a permission to a foreign company to use its manufacturing processes, patents, technologies, trademarks and other assets of value against the payment of a fees called royalty. In return of the fees, the licensee gets the advantage from the licensor's goodwill and brand name along with the expertise over time. Joint ventures. Joint venture represents the joint ownership over the resources along with the risks and returns, but in international marketing, it is often takes place to take advantage of the partners' political linkages of technological advantage in the foreign market beyond the usual reasons. Direct investment, the highest level of involvement in the international marketing programs is in the form of direct investments in foreign assembly or manufacturing facilities, mergers and acquisitions, turnkey projects, and strategic alliances. The company is exposed to higher risks of economic and political threats and instabilities, so a decision in favor of direct investment is to be taken with the necessary insurance and assurances. Deciding the marketing program, the production decision. One of the major decisions in this respect of deciding the extent of production adaptation and or standardization. Adaptation requires alteration in the featuring of product to meet local tastes and usage conditions, whereas standardization means extending the product line as it is in foreign markets irrespective of the local conditions. Product invention in the form of creation of regional versions or backward or forward inventions is also a challenge. The promotion decisions, depending upon the product usage, conditions and need felt by the consumer, the options available are one product, one message worldwide. Product adaptation, communication extension. Product extension, communication adaptation. Product invention. Lack and diversity of promotional infrastructure and regulations in different nations is another challenge. The physical distribution decision. Movement of goods in international marketing can take place through many short and long channels of distribution constituted by both domestic and foreign based merchants, agents, distributors, management companies and specific agents. The decision to favor a direct or indirect channel and its type depends on many factors like financial considerations, the control, convenience, country's regulations and middlemen services. The pricing decision. Pricing calls for an added decision in respect of transfer pricing or intra-firm pricing of goods and services, transfers, grey marketing, price escalation and transportation costs, tariffs, profit margins along with currency fluctuations, risks and dumping charges. Deciding on the marketing organization. Export department. The company may set up a dedicated export department to take care and be answerable for the total exports and export related activities. International division. As the volumes, percentages and dedication of the company grows towards international marketing, it may have an international division headed by the division's president and the corporate staff with set goals and budgets of the international operations. These are often recognized in the form of international subsidiaries or geographically identified business units. Global organization. An organization with top corporate management and staff plans worldwide manufacturing units, financial flows, marketing programs, and logistic distribution is a global organization. Such organizations do not have international divisions but a worldwide command and reporting system. Let us recapitulate what we have learned in this module. International marketing is the extension of the principles of marketing with an added concept and theories that apply in the international context. As the distances have shortened and economies have opened up, it has become very important for a domestic marketer to extend his business beyond the geographical boundaries of his country and for several other reasons as well. A marketer evolves through many stages of internationalization while extending his business into the global scenario, starting from the narrowest orientation of ethnocentrism towards being a global marketeer with geocentric orientation. Number of strategic decisions are to be taken up by the marketeer as he plans to go international. These pertain to whether to go international, which country to enter, how to enter, and also regarding the marketing program and organization.